Hello guys, we meet again. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Shafira Zahra Buditia and I'm a student of English Education Department from State Islamic University of Salatiga. And in here, I would like to compile my assignment in the subject of ECT. And without any further ado, let's just get started into our first material today. Okay, first of all, let's see. There are many action verbs behind me, right? Okay, so they're very common, and I think most of you have already know it because in procedure text we are going to have a lot of action verb going on. Okay, first of all, the action verbs. There's run, clean, dance, walk, cry, crawl, fight, laugh, write, and etc. And in the other side, there is also another action verbs in the context of classroom. First of all, there's also teach, think, spell, give, study, read, cut, experiment, observe, listen, play, and many other things. So why there are many action verbs in our first slide? Well, this is very common because in procedure text we are going to use it, just like what I have told you before. And now moving on to the second slide, where we saw another action verb, but in the context of cooking, because in junior high school you are going to meet a procedure text in the English subject with the context of culinary. Yeah, so which is why it's going to be our focus today. First of all, there is grate, barbecue, layer, level, melt, a pinch, pour, scramble, serve, and etc. And there are also another explanation and question on the right. Now let's read it together. Take a look at this collection of verbs that might be appear in a procedure text. Can you find more verbs that might appear in a procedure text also? So we need to find more verbs that might be appear in a procedure text. Remember, this context is about cooking. Let's see. There is also another verb. There is like a deep fry. There's also blanch, blanch. There is also sangrai. And now, let's see the example of a procedure text behind me. The title is How to Eat Healthily at School. The goal to eat your meat properly. The goal is to eat your meal properly and stay healthy during school time. Materials and tools needed is lunchbox or school meal, spoon or fork, napkin or tissue, and drinking water. The last one is steps. Unfortunately, there are many gaps in the steps, which is we're going to describe later. Okay, let's see from the text. There is a title, How to Eat Healthy at School. There is also goals, materials and tools, and step. The last one is the step. So, what did we just actually see? What did we just actually read? Okay, guys, this is an example of procedure text and the structure. Let's see together. The first of all is goal. The goal tells us what is our purpose, our intention in order to the reader in order to achieve from reading our procedure text. From this example, the goal is how to eat your meal properly and stay healthy during school time. And then, moving on to the structure number 2. There is also materials and tools, which is like what kind of things or what kind of utensil that we might need in order to do this procedure, which is how to eat healthy. Of course, we need our lunch because we're going to eat. And then we need spoon, and then we need napkin, and also drinking water. And the last one is the steps. Let's work on this together, shall we? First, blah 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 your hands before blah 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 eating. So of course, first of all, we have to wash our hands before eating. Secondly, find a clean and quiet place to sit. 3. Blah 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 your lunchbox or prepare your food neatly. We can say, bring your lunchbox or prepare your food neatly. Number 4, eat blah 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 and chew your food properly. In order we have to eat healthy and safely, we have to chew the food slowly, and we have to eat them slowly as well, in order not to choke, in order not to accidentally eat something that we don't want. Okay. The last one, throw away any trash and clean your eating area after. Yeah. After we finish eating, we can throw our trash in the trash can, and we have to clean our dining area after, because that is actually the reason why we can be healthy. Yeah. So that is the procedure text of how to eat healthy in school. And we just learn together what are the structures and what are the structure function. And now, so what is actually a procedure text? Procedure text is a text that explains or informs or helps the reader on how to make something or how to do something. So procedure text doesn't usually comes in the form of recipe, but can also in forms of tutorials or tips. For example, when you're having an insomnia and you found tips on the magazine, you can usually find a procedure text there. And when you want to make something like a coffee, of course you're going to find a recipe. A recipe is also a procedure text. And the purpose of a procedure text is to tell or to show us how something is made or used or to be done through sequences of steps. So the steps must be in order, so that we can make something that correctly. And now, the structure of a procedure text, there are 3. First of all, the goal. The goal introduces us about the intention or the purpose of the text is about to be explained, just like what we have learned before. And secondly is the materials. Materials provide a detailed explanation about what kind of tools or things or ingredients needed in order to achieve our goal. And the last one is steps. Just like what we have learned before, steps provide various, steps. Yeah, steps provide various steps. In order to acquire your goal, you have to follow the steps correctly and in sequence so that what we are going to achieve is achieved. Okay, the next one is the language features. Of course, when we're going to make a procedure text, we need a good language features in order to understand the text correctly. First of all, just like descriptive text, we use a lot of present tense. And we also use imperative sentences. Sometimes in a procedure text, we don't use subjects because we know the one who's being ordered is us or the reader. For example, add 3 onions and mix it well. See, no subject. And then, secondly, we use connectives. Connective is like firstly, secondly, then, after that, and finally. Yeah, that is connective. In order to connect many sentences we have to use connectives. And the number 3 is adverbs. There are many adverbs, but in procedure text we usually use adverb of times. Adverb of time is like tell us how to do something for a certain amount of time. Yeah. For example, in 10 minutes or for 1 hour. And then the last one is using the adverb of manner. Simply it tells us how we should do something. Yeah. For example, like slowly, mix it well, or evenly, or through. Now we're going to learn about the types of procedure text. There are two types of procedure text. Those are procedure text that tells us how to do or how to operate something. You know, like how to use an air fryer, how to use a dishwasher, or how to use a camera, a coffee machine, and etc. And the second one is a procedure text that tells us how to make, or how to do, or how to play. For example, how to play violin, how to make rendang, how to create a website. So yeah, that is the types of procedure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and finally we have arrived in the conclusion from our material. So what is our conclusion today? Yeah, procedure text is a type of text that explains how to do something or how to make something step by step. The main purpose is to guide the reader to achieve a specific goal correctly and effectively. That's it for our materials today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you're enjoying my video. Thank you so much. If there is any mistake, I would like to apologize. So thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.